announcing Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Cultivating collective consciousness. Hello? Okay. Maybe now you'll be able to hear me. I still gotta give it a second and do this delay and see if the live shows has volume, has my mic. Okay. All right. I figured it out. So, learned a lesson from the technical difficulty before. Make sure you've got a mic. So, I've got a mic now, and I feel confident that y'all can hear me. But I'm still going to check again. Yes. All right. Yay. So, that's one technical difficulty down. I had multiple technical difficulties today. I was really, really excited to bring my girl, Indiana Suzania, back on the show a second time. And so I was going to be having a virtual guest for the first time. And we did not get that figured out. So, we had to make a last minute change, so we were going to be together, and then we realized maybe 90 minutes before the show starting that wasn't how it was going to go. And so I tried to get the other thing figured out for a guest, and didn't work, and we couldn't figure it out. And so sadly, I'm not going to be able to interview Indiana and kick it with Indiana with y'all on this show. And so, technical difficulty number 2. This is a learning process. This is a whole lot of learning. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this episode a little shorter, I think. I'm not going to do everything that I planned for opening. I had originally planned to go over the ground rules. I'm not going to do that this time because I'm not going to have that much of a, as long of a show. And the ground rules are in, I guess I'll just say them really quickly. We're going to be nice to each other. We're welcoming to all different kinds of people with all different kinds of backgrounds who enter this conversation from wherever place they enter it from. This is a co-learning environment, so I have the experiences that I have, I have experiences to share that are exciting to me, and things that I've encountered as it relates to the spiritual world. And there's like so much of a bigger world than, there's so many things. There's just so much in the world of the spiritual. I'm going to be inviting guests here to share, to co-learn with me and to co-share, and we're all co-learners. That's really the point. I invite you to go to yaneindigo.com and go to join. And if you do that, I'll be able to share multiple, let you know when these episodes are coming and different things that are going on. Also, I want to just say that this is a space of vulnerability and transparency, and it's a place where we are going to move. So I really do want to do some moving right now in order to just kind of get the energy, my own energy, back on track. So I'm going to invite you to move with me, and so let's let's have a little dance break. But first, announcing Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Cultivating collective consciousness. While we're here jamming, let's talk about the purpose of this show. Soul Seeds is a place where I invite my guests to share from their personal experiences and discuss their spiritual practices in order to help us to individually and collectively increase our spiritual intelligence. And I'll share from my journey in that same way as well. You'll witness conversations about spiritual practices, ancient wisdom, and modern liberation. And you'll be welcome to ask questions in real time and after the show, because we'll pull your questions and answer them in future episodes too. If we can. Each episode, we dig deep into different traditions and practices, learning how to connect us to ourselves, to each other, to the natural world, and to our collective power. We're bridging traditional knowledge with contemporary needs in support of you as you create pathways for your personal transformation and as we manifest community transformation together. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or you're deeply rooted in practice, Soul Seeds, especially through our guests and our dialogue with viewers, offers fertile ground for growth, understanding, and collective evolution. Together, we're cultivating consciousness that liberates us all. Now, that's a reason to dance. Hey, get it? Hey, 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 get it? Get it? Hey. What? Yeah. Yeah. Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Cultivating collective consciousness. So, I was really excited to bring Indiana back on, and I don't want to really talk about the things that I was going to talk about with her here because I'm still gonna connect with her. We'll get this thing figured out and we'll have another episode and we'll be able to talk about those things. One of the things that we were going to talk about was I had a tantric session with Indiana, and it's been very positive. I've had a very positive response to that session. And so I really was looking forward to talking about that with y'all, for y'all to be able to know about that service and the value of it and all of that. And so I'm not going to get into it now. I want to get into it together with Indiana. And so we figured out probably well into the 7 o'clock that we weren't going to be able to figure this out together. I thought I had gotten it clear, but we weren't able to figure it out. So what I decided that I'm going to talk about, and this is kind of on the fly, but it's very relevant, is this set of oracle cards that I recently picked up. So this is them, African Gods Oracle. And it says magic and spells of the Orishas. And so the way oracle cards, from what I have learned so far, work is they're similar to tarot, like is how you might think about them. We have different cards that have different images, different people who represent different things, different energies, different information, different wisdoms. These come with a book that tells you what each one is. It gives you a little information about each card. And so these are based on the Orishas, as it says, magic and spells of the Orishas, and the Odun. And this is not something that I have great expertise about. So I definitely read the introduction, which gives you a little bit of information. And then it has a section before you begin to use the cards. And one of the things that it explains is that there are 16 Odus, and those 16 have like a positive aspect and a negative aspect. And again, I am a learner, so I'm not an expertise in this. I might, even through reading through this, might get some of the information incorrect, but if you pick this up, all the information is in it. I really like these cards. So I was actually driving, a few of us drove over to I'm in Dominican Republic, so we drove to the Haitian border and just looked at the Massacre River and, just got close to Haiti. Of course, we want to be close to Haiti. And on the way back, they stopped us and they looked through my bags and they saw this box of cards and of the oracle cards, and they were like, "Oh, magic." And it's true, they are magic, but it was really interesting the way that the officer responded to it. So it says that, I'll read a little bit. It says, traditionally, predictions and fortune telling through the Odus are made with two different oracles, the Opele Ifa and the Merendilogun, also called cowrie shell divination, and represent the voice of the Orishas. Both methods can only be performed by priests and priestesses initiated in the Orisha religions and require years of study, as well as several magic rituals that prepare the priest to understand and interpret the Odu's messages for those who come to consult. Through Opele Ifa and Merendilogun, it is possible to identify your Orisha spiritual regions, as well as which Orishas bless your life at this moment and which energies are interfering positively or negatively at this time, so that you can achieve your desires and goals. Consulting the cowrie shell divination reveals your desires, your dreams and goals, the prospects for your future, the ways to continue following a successful path, or the reasons you have not arrived where you would like to be. Based on the interpretations of the Odus that are presented in these consultations, they offer ways of correcting problems and enhancing solutions for all kinds of issues of the body and soul, including health, career and work, personal evolution and challenges, love and relationships, and more. In this sense, and out of the respect for ancestral traditions, the African Gods Oracle is not intended as an oracle for forecasting the future. Rather, the deck you have now, that you now have in your hands, has been created so that the advice, lessons, and archetypes of the Odus and the Orishas can be used as counseling and self-knowledge tools, turning your gaze within in order to help you reflect on anxieties and questions you may have, as well as decisions you should take or avoid to make the best choices and awaken your best version every new day. The deck is made up of 36 cards. There is a card for each of the positive and negative aspects of the 16 main Odus we've already discussed. So that's what I was talking about. So like, for instance, there's Obara here. This is the positive aspect of Obara. And then card 12, which these are not in order, will be the negative aspect of Obara. bottom. And then there's also 4 moon phase cards for the full moon, new moon, waxing moon, and waning moon. And so the way that this deck works, you pull one of the moon cards first, and then that card gives you some insight into what the oracle cards of the rest of the cards that you read highlight an additional kind of way to look at the cards, another aspect of which to look at the cards. And so this what's the word I'm looking for? Recommends either a 1 card pull, where you just shuffle the deck and pull 1 card, or a 3 card spread, which I haven't ventured into yet. I've only done the 1 card spread or the 1 card pull. But it also has where you can do a 3 card or a 5 card spread. And these are, the 3 card spread would be pretty obvious. And then the 5 card spread with the moon card. So I got these cards, I ordered them, I sent them to Jazz, who came here to visit me, and she brought the cards with her. And we did a readings. We went through Reddit and did a reading for each of us, myself, Aunt Jasmine, and Al was with us too. So we all did readings that day, and it was pretty magical. It was kind of like, whoa, how the particular cards that we pulled related to the particular person who pulled it. So I wanted to get these cards because I've had some experiences with like playing cards in the past. Kind of like I had this tarot game, and when I would do the game, like other people would do it, and they would read it very basically, like this means you've got a lot of love in your relationship, kind of basic kind of things. But I would pull these cards in this game, and I would be able to know things that just seemed like everybody or the whole crew around that played this game with us would be like, Yane, read him, do him, because I could just see, I intuitively knew things. And it made me feel a little weird, and so I kind of pulled away and stopped doing it. And then years later, when I wanted to tap into that gift, I couldn't really remember. So I decided to grab the oracle cards in order to be able to kind of tap back into that gift. And what I'm seeing is, so there's like what the cards tell you and like what's written in there. And then as you learn that and you understand that, then you can take that information and combine that with your intuition and your own connection to spirit to be able to provide some really cool information for people. So this is my little current spiritual journey that I'm embarking on, and I just figured I'd share that as my little thing of the moment that's spiritual, something new that's spiritual that's come into my life as we're talking about this thing spiritual for this show. So I don't think that I have anything more that I want to share on that regard. I did want to come on to the show, and it's scheduled, and I just wanted to deal with the unfortunate reality of the technical difficulties and communicate what happened, what's going on, and I'm going to try again. So maybe I'm not sure. I feel like I probably won't do it again this month. Like, this will just be episode 3. And I'll see if maybe episode 4, maybe a better time. I have plenty of time to figure out how to better do this with a guest and do it again. And maybe in the meantime, um, Indiana and I will do a live together, or like a this is a live, like an IG live together, or we'll do this in the future. We'll see. So I'm being patient with myself, and hopefully you're being patient with me as well. It's been a wonderful, wonderful week. I've been getting a lot of great work done. I've been really having fun with these cards. Having fun in the sense that I've I've consulted them multiple times, and every time I have an experience that reinforces that spiritual connection, I'm calling that having fun. Like, I really enjoy knowing that spirit is here, spirit is close, is speaking to me, speaking through me. And I know not simply me, not only me, like speaking through and to us all. And all of those things being affirmed is really pleasurable to me. And so the fact that I've had to do these consultations, and even so many little things. So, okay, I was on a run the other day, and while I was running, there was this moment when I was like paying attention to other things, not to just myself and my drive. And then I felt my, like, I've had a few runs where I can feel my higher self like kick in and run with me. And that happened again a couple of days ago, where my higher self jumped in and was like, don't look at any of that, focus on me. And just like ran just a little ahead of me, keeping me moving forward, keeping me in my pace and pushing me a little bit, which that's another example. That the kind of information that I was getting through consulting with the oracle cards, those kinds of experiences are just like little bits of the confirmation experiences that really are very meaningful to me and very pleasurable to me, and that I've had just in the last few days, really. So as I said, I had a totally different situation planned out. So one of the things I think I'm going to do, I'm going to learn from this. Every episode is a new learning situation. So one of the things that I'm going to learn from this is to have a backup solo show. Like, I'm just have a solo show or two just in my pocket. So if anything happens, lots of things could happen. It could be a technical difficulty, or a person could just have an emergency or whatever. So I'm gonna have a backup solo show in my pocket moving forward. Also, you can't tell, but I have an echo here. So I need to figure out how to make it where I can listen, but y'all can hear me, but I am not hearing myself twice. So I'm gonna play around with that a little bit, and then I'm going to play us out. Self, it seems. Um, yeah, I guess that's that's how it goes. I gotta listen to myself. waiting for the delay again. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to just play this and roll on out. Introducing Soul Seeds. Staying aligned with my purpose is a big part of me being able to live in a kind of very non-conformist, I don't want to say non-traditional, but in this society structure, this current paradigm that we live in, for me to be able to do the things that I do without a job doesn't really make sense on paper. The only way it makes sense is through understanding the spiritual aspects of it. And I really am excited to share that and to learn more. This show, tagline, Cultivating Collective Consciousness, will be starting in the new year. I figure, let's learn together. Announcing Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Soul Seeds. Cultivating Collective Consciousness. Peace, y'all.